Hello, everyone. It's Dee here to guide your practice today for a Vinyasa flow class. So come to a comfortable seat on your mat, maybe elevating yourself on a rolled up blanket or towel. Legs can come into any position. They don't have to be folded in. They could be extended. And we can rest our arms by our side or prop ourselves up with our palms and arms. There's lots of different choices in terms of how you position yourself. Lying down can be just as easily done. We'll start from a seated position after our opening Shavasana, but that's okay. You can come up to join us when you're ready. And so just settle in, continue to start to relax your body. The slowing down of the mind for me comes with the slowing down of the breath. So taking a deep breath and several more afterwards and lengthening the breath after that. Whether you want to do that consciously controlling the breath or whether you want to let kind of a let whatever. Sorry, I'm without words this morning. The idea, everyone, is that you use your yoga to make it what you need it to be. And so you can modify and adjust, you can honor your body. We should honor our bodies by choosing the poses that work into our movement pattern already. There's lots of different ways to slow a pose down or to make it more minimal, if that makes sense. There's no ranking, however, really, though, because our bodies are all different. So we can use what we know about our own body to modify and adjust our practice. So let's get going here on a pranayama breath, one where we let our body change from our nervous system change from an autonomic focus to a controlled focus. And we'll practice box breath this morning. And so think of your breath as having four sides. Two of them are the inhale and the exhale, and two of them are pauses. Whether you create an even-sided breath count, for maybe counts for your inhale, four for the pause, four for the exhale, four more for the last pause. And then the cycle continues, right? Maybe your pauses are shorter, making your box whatever shape works for you. And beginning as you're ready, playing around with this breath, observing how your body feels while you're in the rhythm of the breath, controlling here. Today's Vinyasa practice is on the continuing side. So my opening comments about making your yoga what you need is going to be crucial as you practice today. It is geared towards those that have a wider range of motion and perhaps stronger muscles. However, again, it's so easy to modify and adjust, and I can always give you individual help with that if you need it. Stretch has joined us. He's half of the Yoga with Dee and Stretch practice that you get here. Let's set our box breath aside and let's go back to a rhythmic breath. Letting the body take back over. keeping our awareness on our breathing to slow down our thoughts as we continue our practice together today. So let's begin with a little bit of a shoulder warm up. We'll flutter open our eyes slowly and let's lift our shoulders and then lower our shoulders. Just keep lifting, tensing, and then lowering and relaxing. Just go back and forth at your own pace. Maybe hold it for a breath or a half breath. Scrunching the shoulders up towards the ears and then relaxing them back and down on the spine. The next time they're back and down, we'll inhale, lifting our arms out and up towards the sky. Let's let the left hand grab the right wrist, and as we exhale, we'll lean laterally over. We're not really trying to lower ourselves much. We're trying to move out of direct alignment and then extend. So see how that feels to take a breath here and then inhale the next breath to come back up, straight up and down. Exhale, release your hands and let them open and reach as they return to towards the ground. Let's inhale opposite. We'll do the opposite side. Right hand grabs left wrist and we'll reach over, opening the left side of the body. Taking a breath here and then inhale to come back up and an exhale to release arms down by your side. Next inhale, sun breath. We'll lift the arms up. Let's turn towards the left. Right hand comes in front, left arm goes back behind. And we'll begin to, with an extended spine, turn towards that left side, looking back behind us. Next inhale, we'll lift the arms up and out. Come back to center. Exhale. Left arm comes in front. Right arm is behind. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale. Twist. Using the floor, your contact with your fingers to help you here. Inhale to come back up. Reaching. And then coming back to a neutral position facing forward as you exhale the arms down. Let's come into butterfly pose from here, bringing our feet together, knees out to the side, sitting up nice and tall. Let's do a forward fold from here. So kind of judge how far away you want your heels to be from your hips. And then sit up nice and tall, really press the sits bones into the floor. You might hold yourself up here. You might not lift your arms, by the way, at all. You might extend without lifting the arms and pull forward and down into that forward fold we're going to do. It's up to you. Let yourself inhale, extending the spine in some way. Exhale, release down forward. Keeping this back flat at first. So if you've gone a little bit too far and you've started to curl, just bring it up a notch towards sitting straight up and down. Hold yourself up with your arms. And then as you begin to release on the next exhale, start to curl your shoulders, your spine, draw your chin towards your chest. And let your body hang over the center of the legs. See if you can release the knees, the lower and upper legs here. Out and down to the side. We always take 2 inhales to come up from this curled position. The first inhale, we draw the chin away from the chest, bringing the back of the head even with the back of the spine, even though the spine's curled a little. Engage the core before the next inhale, and then press down to lift up away from the floor. That's the way to do it to really take care of the lumbar part of your spine. We'll move from here right into table. So stretch, you're going to have to beep, beep. We'll get ourselves comfortable. And we'll place our wrists under our shoulders, maybe slightly wider, our knees under our hips. And let's begin with some cat-cows. Lifting up through the navel and then releasing through the navel. Let the navel be the center. You're feeling this movement through. Lifting and lowering the chin, but not too much. Letting that not be as dramatic as maybe your tailbone. We'll bring our spine to neutral here and tuck under the toes and come into downward facing dog. We're going to stay here in down dog for just a moment. And what I'd like you to do is open your toes as far away as you can from each other and press into them and maybe wag your foot or your heel rather from side to side to really stretch and open your feet. You can also use the lifting and lowering of your heels here in down dog to lengthen the bottoms of the feet, including the backs of the toes. And so that's going to help you ground when you're in a mountain position standing. All right, from here, let's let the knees float down. We'll press ourselves up away from the floor and draw our shoulders on top of our hips again in a kneel. All right, we'll come to standing through this kneel. So we'll step 1 foot forward. We'll place our hands on the thigh or perhaps on the hips or waist. Tuck under those back toes, press leaning forward to then press up off of that back foot to come to standing. See if that works for you to come to standing in a way that's healthy for your spine. And the more I learn about being in down dog and walking your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, the more I think that might be for younger people below the age of 55. The more I read about osteoporosis and how rounding of the spine is not never necessarily good. And that's why we no longer, from a deep forward fold, round the spine all the way up. We bring the spine to a straight place, and then we continue moving all the way to a standing position. All right, so while we were seated, we did the 7 movements of the spine. We got the cat-cow movement going a little more at table. And here we are in a mountain position. We're going to do a flow that's a little different from what I've done before. I'm going to move, stretch out of the way so he doesn't get hurt. I hope he stays there. From the middle of our mat, starting at mountain, and I'll turn to face the camera. Move my blanket and towel out of the way. From our mountain, we will come into chair. So I like to do that through a sun breath. We'll inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, we can release our hands if we want to. They can come down to the waist or hips or heart, but we're sinking our hips back towards our heels. We're pressing into all 4 corners of the feet. The knees are staying hip distance apart, so are the ankles. Okay. From chair, we'll come into squat. The hands come down to the floor. The hips release to the floor here. From here, we come into child's pose. So big toes come together, hips sink back and down towards the heels. And let's inhale, pressing on the lower part of the body and the hands, To find extension through the spine, exhale, walk your hands away from your head and stretch your upper body, draping it from your hips to your head on the floor for a breath. On the next inhale, we'll come up from child's pose to table briefly and up into downward facing dog again. Stretch here by walking the dog. Stretch the feet and legs. Get those toes opened and stretched. Good. We'll exhale, coming down to table, knees float to the floor. We'll flatten our body, coming prone, and come into crocodile. Take a breath here. Now inhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Walk your elbows in under your shoulders and slightly in front. Forearms on the floor, palms down in Sphinx. Let the legs, the feet, and the hips relax into the floor here. From here, exhale, come back down into crocodile. With your forehead on the top palm, inhale and lift your right leg and straighten your left arm. You can lift the left arm too if you'd like, and then replace hand and foot. Inhale, opposite side, half locust. Lift the left foot, maybe the knee comes up too, and stretch out the right hand. Exhale, come back into your crocodile shape. Now, draw both hands right by the chest, elbows in towards the side ribs. Inhale, come up into half cobra or cobra. Feet are flat, toes are pointed, legs are active as the toes are extending back behind the body. Exhale, release, and come up and back into child's pose. Perhaps stopping through a loose table momentarily, setting the knees the appropriate width apart, and then releasing the upper body, elongating it across your mat. Next inhale, we'll lift up away from the floor, come into table briefly, come up into a high kneel, and then we'll step one foot forward, lifting ourselves up into a standing position. In whatever way works best for your body. You could have a chair next to you and use the chair to help you achieve the standing process. All right, let's repeat that one more time. Finding your mountain pose first. We can inhale the arms out to the side, but we can always make do with our space by inhaling the arms forward and up. Okay, doesn't really matter. So we'll inhale a sun breath. Exhale, come into chair. Hold here for a breath. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Feet might have to be adjusted a little bit to come into a squat. From squat, we go into child's pose, flattening the feet, coming onto the shins, knees as wide as you'd like. Exhale to release, forward and down. Inhale, come up through table, drawing the knees together if you've widened them, and up into downward facing dog. Open the toes again. Lift and lower the heels. Stretch the legs, stretch the feet. Stretch the shoulders if you'd like, drawing the chin towards, sorry, not the chin, drawing the chest towards the thighs. Exhale to come down into table. Come down into prone and find your crocodile. Elbows out to the side, feet flat, body resting on the floor, forehead on the palms. Inhale, come up into Sphinx, walking the elbows together, pressing down on forearms, elbows, and palms. Release the upper part of the body forward and down while you press the lower part of the body into the floor as well. And then exhale, come back into crocodile. Inhale, lift the left foot. Maybe the knee comes up as well. Straighten that left arm, half locust. Exhale, release back into crocodile. Now, come into cobra by drawing your hands by your chest, elbows in. Inhale to lift up away from the floor, pressing into the palms of the hands, the heels of the hands, the fingers. Exhale, release from your cobra, and we'll come back into child's pose. Wide kneed, toes touching, upper body extended. Take a breath here. Inhale, come up to table, walking the knees together. Walk hands to the knees to a high kneel. Step one foot forward. Maybe you do the opposite foot this time. Hands on that thigh, pressing through that back. Leg two to lift up and come to standing. All right. We've got a little bit of a different vinyasa flow to do today. Hoping this will still show you how you'll be able to see everything. All right, from our mountain pose, I like to always start a little bit back from the top of the mat. It depends on how much space you need to draw that foot back as we do a vinyasa flow similar to a sun salutation, but not the same. All right, from mountain pose, we'll come into a forward fold. So we'll inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, nose dive, forward fold, bend your elbows and your knees, and we'll just sort of set the head in this arcing motion to lower towards the floor. Keep your back as flat as you can here. Okay. And then release again. Rounding the spine. From here, we'll come into a lunge by stepping the right foot back and inhaling away from the thigh. Perhaps the arms came up too. Exhale, hands come down, and we come into plank or half plank. Hips low enough. So this would be too high. That's more like a down dog, but the feet aren't in far enough. We're trying to lower the hips. So if being in this position is too discomfort, draws too much discomfort sensations, then draw the knee down, each knee down, and come into this half plank. From here, we'll exhale back and down into child's pose. Inhale, lift back up to table, come down to prone. Hands are right by the chest, elbows in. Inhale to half cobra. Exhale, release to the floor, tuck under the toes, and come up into downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, eyes come to hands, step the left foot forward into a lunge. Then come from here to a forward fold. Step that right foot forward, release the chest towards the thighs. And we'll inhale coming up into mountain. Arms can lift up over the head or not.
And the exhale can bring the hands by the side or at the waist. We'll turn now to face the long edge of the mat, heels a little closer to the center of the body than the toes, and we'll inhale, lifting the arms, coming into 5-star. From 5-star, we'll turn away from the top of the mat that we were just facing, and we'll turn our right foot to come into Hero 1 or Warrior 1. So let's lower our arms. We'll turn our hips to face the short bottom edge of the mat, and we have the heel in the back, low on the floor, pressing out and down, away from the body, and the front foot facing the short edge of the mat, pressing into all 4 corners of both feet. Hips facing that side wall, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, press into your back heel, lift your back toes, come into Warrior 2 with that back foot, and then your arms can come down to parallel or stay at your waist. Warrior or Hero 2. Inhale, lift the front arm, lower the back arm, reach up toward the ceiling and reverse Warrior or Hero. Exhale, find your extended side angle. Inhale, find your triangle, straighten your knee, lift your shoulders a little bit, reach the top hand towards the ceiling, stack the lower hand beneath it. We'll move from here back into 5-star. So we'll inhale, windmill the bottom arm as we turn the foot forward and bring our heels in, finding that 5-star. Exhale, bring the arms down, turn the toes towards the long edge of the mat. I'm going to center myself a little better here. Let's do a forward fold, inhaling both arms up. Exhale, nose dive, forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you want. We can grab our blocks to help support us as we reach forward and down with our head and upper body. Knees can be bent however much you'd like. Now, let's inhale, bringing our chin back to neutral, maybe flatten the back here too. Hold on to the core. In other words, tighten it on the next inhale. Push down through your feet. Lift up through your torso. If it hurts your spine to lift your arms when you lift up, then you simply take that out of your practice, and that helps you honor your body better. Now we move from that wide angle to mountain. We'll find tree, still using this right knee, bending it, lifting the heel, left leg's the standing leg. Open the knee and the foot out to the side, draw it in any amount. Keep your toes of that right foot on the ground to support you and stabilize you, or place the sole of the right foot on the bottom of your leg or the top along the thigh, not on the knee. Continue to press this knee back, out and back, as you still press the foot right against the standing leg. You can grow your branches. You can see, can you rotate your body away from that knee, the upper body rather, coming into like a tree twist, rotated tree. Come back to center. Let's move from our tree into dancer. We'll bring the knee in, keep the foot lifted, reach the right hand to grab onto the left ankle. We'll draw the right heel in towards our right hip. We can stay here. We can lean forward, pressing down into that standing leg, that standing foot. bending the knee any amount. Upper body comes forward, lower body, that lifted leg can move with the upper body. You can even make this more of a movement-oriented pose. And I'm holding on to the wall here, to the cabinet here, so you can make your yoga your own by using whatever you need as well. From here, let's come into Warrior 3. I'm going to grab my blocks. I'm going to place them as I'm bending over here with a flat back, right to the right and left, where they're kind of an extension of my arms, maybe a little wider than my shoulder. From here, I'll lift the right foot and leg up and back without lifting the right hip. Press into that left standing foot. And then exhale, release the right leg. Inhale to lift up away from the blocks and the floor. And we'll inhale the arms out and up. Come up onto your tiptoes for palm tree and start to wiggle your fingers. I know you can't see. I can lower my arms and you can. Wiggling the fingers up on your tippy toes. Palm tree. Just walking around the room a little bit and then releasing on the next exhale, lowering your arms down. And we'll do that once again. Okay, we have mountain pose. Standing with the feet hip distance apart. We'll inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, bend arms and legs as you lower into a forward fold. From here, step the right foot back. Come into a low lunge or a high lunge. Let the inhale bring the chest away from the hips, the thigh, and the arms lift up overhead. Exhale to release the hands. Plant the palms, step that left foot back. And come into plank or half plank. Take a breath. Let the next exhale lower the knees in low plank if you're not there. Sink back into child's pose. Big toes touching. Releasing slowly the upper body towards the floor. Arms extended up overhead. Inhale, lift into table. Draw the knees together. We're on our belly. We'll find half cobra. Hands by your chest, pressing into the floor, elbows in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower the upper body. Inhale, we'll come up through plank, half plank, or table into downward facing dog. Stretch here for a breath or two. Next inhale lifts the gaze to the hands. Steps the right foot forward this time. And then inhale, lifting up away from the floor. And that thigh. Arms lifting if you'd like. And then exhale, releasing the arms down, coming into a forward fold. Stepping the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale to release. Inhale, press down through your feet. Lift up through your torso, head, neck, and chest. Maybe the arms come up overhead. Maybe they don't. Exhale, brings the arms down to the side. We'll turn towards the long edge of the mat, draw our heels in towards one another, press our feet into our mats, inhale the arms up, find your 5-star, exhale the arms down, the left foot now turns towards the short edge, the right foot I might not, yeah, I think I'm doing this right. Is at an angle. We'll bend the left knee. We're finding our warrior one, hero one legs, inhaling the arms up overhead. Coming into that from a place that's not a down dog. So that's kind of unique for us. From here, we'll come into warrior two, shifting the right leg and bending into the left knee just as much, arms parallel to the floor. From here, we'll come into a reverse on the next inhale, and then exhale to extended side angle. Arm can be anywhere between the hip or the side and the ear, right by the ear. From here, we move into triangle. Take a little adjustment. Shoulders a little askew from the hips. From our triangle, we'll come into 5-star. Reaching up through the arms, turning that left foot. From here, we come into a wide angle, forward fold. Helps to move, I think, the blocks around with you. Maybe you're bending your knees enough to place your palms or hands on the floor, enough to support your upper body. Stretching the backs of your legs here in this wide angle forward fold. Okay. Now inhaling to lift. Use the cues I've taught you to come up out of the forward fold, and we'll walk our feet together, heel toe, or step them together to come back into mountain. This time our right leg's the standing leg in tree. We bend the left knee, turn the foot and knee out, draw the left side in towards the right as much as needed. Coming into our tree here. Maybe rotating the upper body away from the bent lifted knee. And then back. Exhaling the arms down, drawing the left knee forward. Heel comes towards hip. And we'll come into dancer. From here. Now, draw the knee back in line, lower that left leg, lower the right hand. Come into a forward fold or a half forward fold to come into a warrior three with the left foot and leg lifted up and back behind. And then exhale that leg down as you're ready. Inhale to lift up away from that half forward fold and come back into your mountain pose. From here, lift the arms up towards the sky, lift the heels away from the floor, come back into palm tree, wiggling the hands, maybe moving the arms tight. And then releasing with your arms down by your side. All right, let's do a morning greeting from a standing position, facing your screen, inhaling the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Feel all four corners of your feet pressing into the floor. Right underneath your shoulders. Inhale, stay still. Exhale, bring your hands and arms forward, straight out, gaze forward. Inhale, gaze lifts a little bit. Arms come out wide to the side and back arches. Exhale, bring your spine into a neutral position and then round it as the hands touch. You've drawn the arms and hands forward. Chin tucks here as well. Inhale, hands back to the heart. Exhale, the arms down by your side. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale, releases to the heart. Inhale. Exhale, hands come forward. Inhale, cow. Exhale, back. Rounds into cat, chin tucks. Inhale, hands back to the heart, gaze forward. Exhale, arms by your side. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, pause. Exhale, reach your hands out, away from the body. Good. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, come back to neutral. Hands at the heart. Exhale, releases your arms down by your side. Let's now walk our feet wide, come back into wide angle, making sure that our toes aren't wider than our heels or our heels aren't wider than our toes. Pressing down through the mat into the floor. We'll inhale the arms either forward or out to the side and up over the head. Exhale, nose dive, forward fold, back into that wide angle forward fold. This time, leave the left hand on the floor, bend your knees enough to get it there. Inhale, bringing the right arm out and up, reaching for the sky. Exhale, lowers that right hand, replaces it with the left. Inhale, left arm goes out and up to the sky. Exhale, releases that hand. Let's walk towards one leg, nose to knee, hands on the feet or ankle. Take another breath here. And then walk the hands to the center and over to the opposite side, nose to knee here. Holding on to the leg or foot somehow. Taking a breath. And then walking with the hands back to center. We're getting ready to come up to mountain, pressing down through the feet. Inhale to lift up through the torso. Arms come out and up overhead. If you'd like, hands come together, and we'll exhale, hands to our heart center from there. Let's move into a mountain pose. Again, stepping the feet together or heel toeing it. And let's lift and lower each knee, kind of walking in place. Good. This is loosening up the hips. We're going to find our stork pose next. So planting down through the soles of both feet. Once again, pressing into the left side, bend the left knee, lift the left heel, toe tap. And then point the toes down. Keep that knee as lifted as you'd like. You can even lift the leg enough, but keep the toes on the floor that it helps steady you. We'll inhale, wrists come higher than shoulders, elbows lower, and we'll point our fingers and thumbs down. And we can kick from here, straightening the leg. We can kick from a middle place, from a lifted place. So work on strengthening your body safely from the most stable position that your body needs. And that's going to be different for each of us. And then release. Let your body relax. We'll step each foot out to the side, lift the heel as we swing our arms to the opposite side. We want to have this leg movement in order to keep the back safe. We'll come back to center here, and we'll find stork on the opposite side. Left knee bends. We can toe tap, lifting the knee, maybe adjusting the standing leg as needed. Point the toes down, lift the arms. Maybe keep the hands at the hips if that's where we are. Holding onto a chair works. And then if you'd like to find that hand to big toe, you could even hold on. That causes a rounding of the back in a lot of people, so do that if you're able. And don't worry about it if you're not. Releasing as you're ready. And then we'll come into those arm swings again. Remember to lift the heel of the back foot as you do these. Give the back some liberty instead of planting that heel and perhaps causing a little bit of a strain somewhere in the spine, most likely near your lumbar. All right, let's come down to the mat in whatever way works best for your body. If you'd like, you can step 1 foot forward, come back onto the toes of the back foot, slowly lower onto one knee, then the other, and we'll come all the way down into a supine position. Let's not put a blanket or towel underneath our head for Vinyasa yet. We're not quite there. We'll cool down just a little bit first. So with our head at the top of the mat, our body in alignment with our head. From there, you can sneak a peek if you need to. Either with legs straight and their knees bent, draw both knees into your chest. And let's round the spine here a little bit. You can use a strap if you'd like to guide your knees in towards you. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in the backs of the legs. Wherever it is that you are or have chosen to be, you can begin to rock from left to right. We'll come back to center. Let our knees float to the floor. Arms down by our side, elbows in towards our waist. Shoulder blades flat on the floor and kind of going in towards the spine back behind you. Let's come into bridge. We'll inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Pressing down to lift on the next inhale. Lifting the hips, sorry. Exhale to lower the hips. Inhale lifts. Exhale lowers. Inhale lifts the hips. If you'd like to stay lifted for a few breaths, you may. Exhale lowers. And just moving at your own pace. Giving your body what you feel you'd like it to have, what it is telling you it needs, and what you choose to do, and how you might interweave stillness and movement with your practice as you feel the need. Go ahead, if you haven't already, and release your sacrum to the floor and really feel that plate, rectangular shaped plate pressing into the mat behind you. We're going to draw our knees to our chest one more time, keeping the sacrum rooted there. And let's rock back and forth one more time as well. Side to side. We'll come back to center and let's come into a two-legged twist. You can keep your knees stacked as they release off to one side, or you can have them more askew from each other, more separated. Let's inhale, draw our arms out wide like wings. Pressing into the shoulder that's away from the bent knees as much as we're pressing into the same shoulder, same side as the bent knees. We might move our chin away from the knees or toward the knees. And we'll take a breath here. 2 to 3, actually. On the next inhale, let's center our chin, lift our legs up both together one at a time. We'll keep the knees bent and we'll set up our twist on the opposite side. Maybe we stack our legs differently this time. Maybe we look a different direction. Giving the body what it's telling you it wants now. Relaxing into the pose, pressing into even shoulders. Good. Next inhale brings chin up towards the sky. We'll bring our knees back to center. Let's come back knees to chest and we'll rock left and right for the final time. We'll come back to center and let's come into student choice. Whatever your body tells you to do, you can move in ways that your body wants to move in here. Just individualizing your practice for you, giving you time. Maybe it's a yoga walk, maybe it's a happy baby, maybe it's a piriformis stretch. Maybe it's shoestring you need to do. Maybe it's a reclined butterfly. Wherever you're feeling tight, it might help to find a way to stretch that area of the body. Giving it a few more breaths here, whatever you've chosen. Making sure you're even side to side. And then as you're ready, let your body float into whatever position you'd like to have for final Shavasana. You can place your blanket or towel behind your head now. Block between the knees is wonderful, or between the legs. Knees bent to the sky, feet wide, almost to the width of the mat. Settling the spine correctly and in alignment on your mat. Tucking your chin slightly, closing down the eyes. Begin to take deeper breaths. Relaxing your body as you lie here. Searching the body for places where you might still be holding tension. And working to relax those places. Let your breath fall into a box breath pattern. If that felt good to you at our opening. Perhaps you're lengthening your breath in some other way. Perhaps you're using a mantra as you breathe. Tuning the mind into nothingness, into just being. But also knowing that our minds will carry us away with a thought, a feeling, or an emotion. And that's all right. Once we have that awareness, we can come back to our breath, practicing concentration and focus, helping us do this throughout our day. Using the breath to help you focus throughout the day, just as you are now. Take 3 to 5 more breaths here. And now as you're ready to begin moving again, rock your head from left to right slowly and gently. Even though this was a class or practice that made you move a lot, it is important that you move slowly now, coming out of a relaxation pose. And we'll come all the way up to seated, just as slowly and gently. Bringing our sits bones to the floor, making our arms and legs work again. Sitting up nice and tall with the arms by your side, legs in any position. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale brings the hands to the heart. Let's close down our eyes and tuck our chin as we bow to the divine within us. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Let your next inhale lift your chin to neutral. Release your hands, flutter open your eyes. And thank you all so much for joining Stretch and I, who's sleeping, by the way, for a nice Vinyasa flow class. I hope the rest of your day is nice and that you're able to practice again next week. Take care.